You're born in Osaka, Japan. Your father was Chinese, a factory worker who disappeared when you were 4, left for a pack of cigarettes and never came back. Your mother is Japanese, works double shifts at a laundry service, comes home smelling like detergent and exhaustion. In Japan, blood matters. Yours is wrong. Half Chinese, impure. The kids at school have a word for people like you. They use it often. Your teachers hear everything. They do nothing. You learn early that some people are born belonging. You were born outside, looking in through glass you can't break. The beating happens when you're 15. 3 older kids from a different school corner you in a park near the train station. They've seen you before. They don't like your face. They take turns. Fists, kicks, a wooden stick one of them brought from home. You curl up on the ground and wait. That's when you notice the man. Black suit, silver watch, leaning against a car across the street, smoking a cigarette. He watches the whole thing like it's a movie he's seen before. When the kids leave, he walks over, doesn't help you up, just looks down. You want them to fear you instead? He asks. His name is Mori. He runs a family, not the kind with dinner tables and holidays. He doesn't care that you're half Chinese. We're all outsiders here, he says. Orphans, dropouts, broken things. He offers you a place to sleep and food to eat. The catch: you start at the bottom. The bottom is lower than you can imagine. You go home, pack a bag, leave your mother a note saying you found work. You're not lying. You just don't mention what kind. Day 1, you wake up at 4 a.m. Your job is to polish shoes. 15 pairs lined up outside the senior members' rooms, every pair gleaming like black mirrors. Then you prepare the baths, check the temperature, lay out fresh towels, make sure everything is perfect before anyone wakes up. Then you stand by the door, waiting to bow when they leave. You buy their cigarettes. You carry their bags. You make 0 yen. You sleep on a thin mat in a room with 3 other recruits. You're not a gangster. You're furniture that bows. For 2 years, you're invisible. You run errands, you clean. You stand in corners during meetings, absorbing everything, saying nothing. The hierarchy is strict. Oyabun at the top, Wakagashira below, then Shategashira and down to the soldiers, and below them, the recruits. You. One recruit last month talked back to a senior member. Nobody's seen him since. His name is never mentioned. You keep your mouth shut, your shoes polished, and your head down. You're waiting for your shot. Your first real job comes after 18 months. A restaurant owner in the entertainment district hasn't paid his protection fee in 2 months. You go with a senior member named Kato. The owner starts making excuses. Kato picks up a framed photo from the counter, the owner with his wife and daughter, and drops it on the floor. Glass everywhere. Next time, Kato says, it won't be the photo. The owner pays. You carry the envelope. Your hands are steady. You're surprised how calm you feel. The money flows upward. You collect from businesses, give everything to your senior. He takes his cut, passes the rest up. All the way to Mori. You don't skim. You don't round down. The family has accountants who know exactly what every block should produce. Steal 1 yen and you're stealing from family. Thieves don't get warnings. They disappear. The hierarchy isn't about respect. It's about math. And the math is always exact. You prove yourself on a rainy night in November. A deal goes wrong. A rival crew shows up at a meeting that was supposed to be friendly. Your senior freezes when a knife comes out. You don't. You step in front. The blade goes into your shoulder. Deep, scraping bone. 43 stitches. The police ask questions at the hospital. You tell them you fell on a fence. They don't believe you. You don't care. Word gets back to Mori. The half-Chinese kid took a blade and didn't say a word. 2 weeks later, you're invited to a ceremony. The Sakazuki ritual. You kneel across from Mori in a tatami room that smells like incense and old wood. A cup of sake sits between you. He drinks first. You drink from the same cup. That's it. No contracts, no lawyers. You're family now. Father and son, bound by ritual. Mori looks at you differently after. Not like a tool, like an investment. You belong here, he says. First time anyone's ever said that to you? First time you've believed it. The tattoos begin a month later. Irezumi, traditional Japanese ink, hand-poked with wooden needles. You lay face down while an old man turns your back into a canvas. A tiger emerging from waves. It takes 4 years to complete. Back, shoulders, arms, thighs. Each session is hours of pain. The artist doesn't offer painkillers. Pain is part of it. The tattoo is beautiful. It's also a life sentence. You can never go to a public bath, a gym, a beach. You're marked forever. That's the point. By 25, you're running your own crew. 6 men who call you Anarchy, Big Brother. You have a collection route. A string of bars and clubs that pay on time because they know what happens when they don't. You wear better suits now. You drive a car that starts in winter. You send money to your mother through a maze of gifts and fake invoices. She thinks you work in entertainment promotion. She's not entirely wrong. You learn the business isn't about violence. Violence is just the punctuation. The real business is territory, relationships, leverage. You learn which politicians take bribes and which ones need threats. You learn which police captains can be bought and which ones need to be avoided. You learn that fear is a renewable resource. Use it sparingly and it lasts forever. Use too much and people start thinking they have nothing to lose. That's when they become dangerous. You try to have normal things. A woman, she works at a club you protect, knows what you are, doesn't ask questions. An apartment with a view of the city. Dinners at restaurants where the owner seats you first and never brings a bill. But normal is a costume you wear, not a life you live. You check your car every morning. You sit with your back to the wall. You memorize the exits everywhere you go. Paranoia is just good planning when everyone actually is out to get you. You make a mistake when you're 27. A shipment gets intercepted by police. Not your fault. Bad luck. An informant somewhere in the chain. But it happened on your watch. Your responsibility. In the corporate world, you'd get a warning. Here, you get a knife and a cloth. Yubitsume. You kneel before Mori, place your left hand on a wooden board, position the blade above your pinky. You don't hesitate. The cut is quick. The sound is worse than the pain. You wrap the fingertip in silk and present it with both hands. Mori nods. Debt paid. 9 fingers now. By 35, you're managing front companies. A talent agency that represents singers who'll never be famous. A real estate firm that buys buildings nobody wants. A chain of pachinko parlors that wash more money than they make from games. On paper, you're a businessman. You have cards, a secretary, meetings with lawyers. You pay taxes. The violence is handled by younger men now. You've been promoted to the part of crime that wears a tie. By 45, you run an entire district. Politicians return your calls. Police captains meet you for quiet dinners to discuss community matters. You've built things. A community center in a poor neighborhood, a scholarship fund for kids like you used to be. You tell yourself the blood money is finally doing some good. Deep down, you know the truth. You're not helping anyone. You're just laundering your conscience one donation at a time. You think about your father sometimes, the Chinese factory worker who disappeared. You used to hate him for leaving. Now you understand. Some men aren't built for the lives they're given. They run because staying would kill them slower. You didn't run. You stayed and became something else. You're not sure which choice was worse. At least he only destroyed himself. You've destroyed others. At least he had the decency to disappear. You stuck around and called it loyalty. Mori gets sick, cancer. It's slow. Months of watching him shrink in a hospital bed. Tubes and machines keeping him alive. He was the one who picked you up off the ground 30 years ago. He taught you that power isn't about volume, it's about certainty. He dies on a Thursday. The funeral is massive. 500 men in black, bowing in unison. You stand near the front. You've earned that spot. After the ceremony, the knives come out. Everyone's calculating, and you realize your position isn't as secure as you thought. The new boss is 40. Educated in America, speaks English, wears slim suits and talks about rebranding and legitimate business ventures. He looks at your tattoos like they're a disease, looks at your missing finger like it's a confession. The old ways are finished, he announces. The government is cracking down. Banks won't work with tattooed men. The organization needs to evolve. What he means is, men like you are evidence of a past they want to erase. They hold a vote. The same men who bowed to you for 15 years now raise their hands to cast you out. Hum on. Expulsion. Your name erased from the registry. Your territory reassigned. Your business is transferred. You walk out with nothing but your suit and the ink under it. In the Yakuza, exile is worse than death. Death makes you a legend. Exile makes you a ghost nobody wants to remember. You're 52 now. You rent a small apartment in a part of Osaka tourists don't visit. You can't get a normal job. Employers notice the missing finger, the tattoos peeking from your collar. You can't go to the pool, the gym, the bathhouse. You eat convenience store meals and watch salarymen walk past your window with their briefcases and their clean hands and their whole futures. You had power once. Respect. Men who would die on your word. Now you have a hot plate and silence. Your mother died 3 years ago. You went to the funeral in disguise, hat low, collar high, stood in the back, didn't speak to anyone. Your cousins were there, people you hadn't seen in decades. They didn't recognize you, or maybe they did, and pretended not to. Either way, you left before the ceremony ended, walked to the train station alone. That was the last time you saw anyone who knew you before all this. The last connection to the person you used to be. You see him last week. A kid, maybe 15. Half something. Chinese, maybe Filipino. Cheap uniform. Fresh bruise under his eye. Walking home from school with his shoulders hunched, trying to be invisible. You invented that walk. Across the street, a black sedan. A man in a suit, watching. Smoking. The cycle is starting again. You could warn the kid. You could cross the street and tell him what's coming. But what would you say? Don't become me. He won't listen. You didn't listen either.